Hi, first grade. Welcome to day 3 of Fun in Winter, Spring, Summer, Fall. You may have noticed that there are a lot of poetic features in this book. It's a very creative book which goes through and talks about every season on every page, and then it changes it up as it goes along. So there's lots of poetry in this story. I wonder if this will inspire you to write some of your own poetry at home. So, the other day we started talking about how there's rhyme and rhythm, and those are different things. Rhythm means the beat and the pace that you go on at, whereas rhyme means like the middle and the ending sounds are the same, like all, fall, call, wall. They all sound the same. Well, today I wanted to point out a couple more things in this poetry book, because there are a lot of, this is set up like a poem. The whole book is set up like a poem. So one of the things I wanted to point out today is you can see in each of these stanzas they have some different poetic feature. I'm only going to point out a few because there are lots. The one we're going to point out today is called alliteration. And alliteration means that they repeat the same starting sounds. Did you hear what I said? Same starting sounds. I used S for each of my words that I use to start. So here they use small, summer. Here they use spring, swing, swing, and sing. On this page, they use dra, dra, to repeat, and then dra, dra down here as well. In this poem book, you may notice that there are a number of words that can be used in different ways. So I've picked out 2 phrases in purple that you can take a look at. And in the middle are a bunch of words that have been picked from the book. So up here, what I want to point out is this. It says, I can swing on my swing. What they've done here is they've used the word swing as an action. What's an action, you say? A verb is an action. Ha-ya! A verb is an action. Ha-ya! Like running or skipping or fishing too. A verb is an action. Ha-ya! I run, I skip, I fish. And they've used swing as a thing or a noun. What's a noun, you say? Nouns are things like cats and dogs and time and rings. Nouns are things like people and places and things. So, you can see that swing is used as an action and used as a thing. Down the bottom, whoop, 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 I can see it's the same thing down here. I can smell a smell. This wasn't in the story, but I thought I'd point it out because it's the same. I can smell, which is a thing you do, an action. A smell, which is a thing. Verb, noun. We can split those up. Now you can also see in the middle, we can also divide these up into verbs and nouns for all the words that we found in the book. So I want you to pause the video, look through these words, and decide, is this something I can do, an action? Or is this something that is a thing, a noun? Are you ready? If it's a thing, we're going to put a circle around it. An insect is a thing. A smell could be either, so we can put a circle around that and a square. Zip. In the story, it's a thing. In the story, it's a action. Drinking, action or thing? I am drinking, so it's an action. You can't say, look, there's our drinking. Pumpkins. I see pumpkins. Call. I can call. It's an action. Swimming. I am swimming. Action. Rest. I can rest. Grass. I can see grass. So, the ones that are circled are things. The ones that have a box around them are actions. We're going to practice one chopped up sentence. You can see these words are not in the right order, but they're supposed to be. Down on my sled, period, zip the hills I. The first thing I can see is that there's a period right here. Second thing I see is that this is an uppercase letter. Now, when you see the word I, there's a little rule that goes, it doesn't matter where it goes. I is a word with an uppercase letter, so it can go anywhere in a sentence and it has to be an uppercase letter. It's kind of got its own special rule. So, unjumble this sentence and see if you can figure out the order that makes sense. Use all the words. If you got this, I zipped down the hills on my sled, well done. It's time for us to talk about some different questions that we want to ask to understand the story better. When we read the words and when we break up the words and we break up the sounds, that's part of reading, but it's not the whole story. So, understanding a story is really important too. Here are some questions that you can look through and you can ask yourself as you're reading the story. You can pause after each one and ask it before I give you an answer. So, why does the narrator like all seasons? So the narrator is the storyteller. And pause the video, think about that question. I would say that the narrator likes all the different seasons because there's different things that he can do in every season. 2. What is the author's message? Why did he write this story? Pause. He probably wrote this story to tell us all the different things that we can do in different seasons to make them fun. Where is the boy swimming? So, for this one, we need to take a look at the text. Here's the picture. Where is he swimming and what clues do you have? Pause. Well, I would say that he's probably swimming in a lake, because usually you'd see trees beside the lake like that, but you wouldn't see them beside the ocean. You might have to have a little bit of schema to understand that one. What type of hot drink was he thinking of? So here we need to go to this one. What type of hot drink was he thinking of? Use the picture clues to think and see if you can figure that out. Pause. What do you think? I can see that the liquid is brown and he has marshmallows in it and it's hot, so it's probably going to be hot chocolate. What season do you like best? Well, that's a question for you to ask for yourself, and you don't need to give an answer to that right now. Or you don't need me to give an answer to that. So you can figure that out for yourself. Alright, it's time for you to start reading your story on Flyleaf. I hope you've enjoyed this whole series, and happy reading!